Today we are going to be showing you guys how to make buckeyes. These are a Christmas tradition in my family. We're from Ohio, and while the real buckeye is a worthless nut that's poisonous, these candy confections are a delight that the whole family can enjoy. Okay, so to make this, it's pretty easy. What you have to remember is 3, 2, 1. Start out, we have 3 pounds of peanut butter, which is 3 cups, 2 pounds of powdered sugar, and 1 pound of butter. We're also going to use 3 tablespoons of real vanilla extract. Don't use the fake stuff. The fake stuff is nasty and will ruin your buckeyes. So, we're going to add our butter to the peanut butter first. And make sure that you've let it sit out for a while or it won't mix in if it's too cold. Pause that. We've added our whole box of butter to the peanut butter. You're going to put it in your mixer, and for the first part, I like to use the paddle attachment. Put this in here. Gotta plug it in. Sorry, wasn't ready. Okay. Then you're just going to start it off on medium speed. And this is going to have to stir for a while before we can add our powdered sugar. The powdered sugar is like the flour base for the dough, but you want this to be fully incorporated. We also going ahead and add our vanilla extract now. It's going to be 3 tablespoons worth. There's 1. 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to let that blend for a while until the butter is completely incorporated. Now, see how you can see how the peanut butter and the butter are all blended together real nicely. It is very delicious. This is not a low-fat dessert. Just to forewarn you, if you're on a diet, this is not what you want to be eating. It's basically 4 pounds of fat right there. So we're going to switch mixer attachments here. I'm going to go to the dough hook. Once you start adding this powdered sugar to the mixture, it's more like a dough than like candy. Now, I have this handy contraption right here that you can put around the mixer. It's a splash guard or a puff guard for the powdered sugar. It'll keep it from flying up out of the bowl. Okay.
Usually.
Turn this on low, and we're going to scoop our bag of powdered sugar in there a little bit at a time. Probably kick that up 1 notch there. So once you get towards the bottom, and this is what this chute is really great for, just put it on there, tap it a couple of times to get the powdered sugar down. You may need to stop it occasionally and take your spatula in there. You see how it's built up on the sides a little bit. But that's easy to do. You can just pull this off. Take your spatula, which mine has peanut butter all over it. But since there's peanut butter in there, it's not a big deal. This flips up. Stick it in there. Put all that down. See how that's starting to be more like a dough than like a gloppy, greasy mess that it was. And that powdered sugar makes it so sweet. And you want to keep on mixing this until all that powdered sugar is perfectly incorporated. Now, as you can see, it's almost all the way mixed in. Just like any good dough, you should do the last little bit by hand. It's got a real nice consistency. Try to get it all some of it will have accumulated on the sides and on the bottom of the bowl. We'll try to mix in as much of it as you can. If you don't get it all perfectly mixed, it's okay. There's little pieces, because when we roll them tomorrow, that will completely incorporate anything that's not. It's nice, it's light and fluffy, it's got a good consistency, and it's just the right color. Color is important because it's supposed to look like the actual nut. Okay, so we take this, and we're going to cover it with foil and put it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. You need to refrigerate for at least 3 hours. You want it to not be so sticky when you pull it out, because you're going to have to take it and roll it into balls. Okay, so before we roll our buckeyes, we need to start melting our chocolate, because it's going to take a little bit of time. So I have 1 bag of Nestle's chocolate chips. You can use milk chocolate or semi-sweet, whatever you prefer. It doesn't matter. Okay. To that, I'm going to add about a handful of the dipping chocolates that you buy to make chocolate-covered strawberries. You're supposed to use Nestle's Choco Bake, but we don't sell it here in Florida, so we have to make do with what we have. This chocolate has a little bit of oil added to it, and that, combined with about a tablespoon of canola oil, will give our mixture the right texture. So this will have to sit and melt for a little while, and while it's melting, we can roll our buckeyes. Okay. Once your buckeye chocolate is melting, you want to add to it some paraffin wax. But the thing that I put my buckeyes in isn't hot enough to melt the paraffin wax fast enough. So I'm going to melt it on the stove and then add it to the buckeye mixture. As you can see, we've got some of our buckeyes rolled here. I'm going to show you how to do one. It's pretty simple. You have to wait until your dough is a good consistency, where it's not too soft, where it'll fall apart in your hands. But get a nice size into your hands. You just take it and you roll it into a nice ball and place it on the tray. When your tray is full, you stick this in the freezer for about 10 minutes and let the balls get real hard. And that way, when we're ready to dip them in the chocolate will harden immediately after going on to the buckeyes. Alright, now as you can see here, if you look at the texture there, it's nice and liquidy. That means that it's ready to go. Okay? So what you need is several toothpicks. You can use one a few times and then use the other side, but after a while some peanut butter cakes up on it. So just stick it down into your buckeye and then down into the chocolate. Leave just a little bit of the top showing, and then set it right there. And voila. Now that all of our buckeyes are dipped, you can see the paraffin wax adds a nice shiny glaze and helps set it quickly. But just to make sure they're all good and set, I'm going to pop them into the freezer for a couple of minutes while we roll another tray of buckeyes. Now you can see that we've let these set up. We have a perfect piece of candy here. It's got a nice hard shell on the outside, and they taste absolutely amazing. They taste like a Reese's peanut butter cup. But all you got to do is just put them over here, and when you get a full layer, put a layer of wax paper between them. They stack real nicely, and they keep nice. You don't need to refrigerate them. You can if you want to, but with the paraffin wax, the chocolate stays nice and solid. And there you have it, buckeyes.